Hi everyone, welcome back to Kinda Hot and Barely Funny,
the show where we love to gossip but don't have a single original thought in our heads. I'm Amanda.
and I'm Nicolette.
And
I'm Erica.
Yay! Erica is back again.
She's back.
We're so excited.
We have...
Oh, I hit the laugh track instead of the...
Did it laugh? I didn't hear anything.
A little. Did you hear that one?
No.
Wait, you're not hearing those?
No.
Well, we'll see if they're in there. Oh wait, actually.
Now I hear it. Now I heard it.
Okay, I wanted to hit the applause when you said Erica's back, and I hit the laugh.
But I didn't hear anything.
I don't know if it's gonna be in there or not. So
Nicolette's trying to do some extra producing today with the laugh track and other sound effects in the background. So
and I hear nothing.
Yes. So that was suspenseful as fuck.
It was like
Just
also,
over here, just silent out here.
Erica's not wearing headphones. Too.
Yeah, so she can't hear. But
okay,
I'm excited to see where that's gonna go.
You know what? There's an intro outro one.
Oh.
So we could record our intro.
And then just play the same intro so we don't have to do it live every time?
Yeah, sometimes we strike gold though.
Yeah, sometimes we do. And other times it's
hard. This one took us 3 times this time.
But that's okay.
Okay, so anyway, with all that being said, welcome back to the pod.
Yes!
Yay!
Didn't scare me off the first time.
Yes.
We'll see about this one.
If you're new here, Erica is my girlfriend, and she joined us, and Nathan when we did our Newlywed Game, Couples Game episode, and that was really fun. So if you haven't heard that, go check that one out too.
Yes.
But now she's back because it's Pride Month.
And Amanda's got a big lesbian crush on you.
Exactly. That's what we needed the laugh track.
We'll have this out by the end of the episode.
You guys laughed at my jokes.
We were the live laugh tracks, so it's fine.
Yes.
That's fair.
But in all reality, it is Pride Month, so happy Pride Month.
Woo!
To the girls, the gays, and the theys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. How have you guys felt this Pride Month so far?
Oh, good question. I feel like we've been busy and have had a lot of stuff going on. Some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff. But we have good vibes, positive vibes. I just came from a bachelorette party in San Diego over the weekend.
Yeah.
Not Pride related, but it was fun and exhausting.
That's homophobic.
Yeah. And then this weekend is actually Seattle Pride, so I'm excited about that.
I don't have an outfit yet. Not a single one.
I think you'll be able to pull it together. Your last year's one was so cute.
And that was coming off of COVID.
Yeah.
Didn't
you just Amazon that though?
Yeah. I got COVID the week before Pride, and my quarantine was up on the Thursday before, and we didn't go. We just went Sunday, and I was like in bed shopping for my outfit because I was gonna go actual shopping, and then I couldn't. And Nathan was out of town like when I got diagnosed.
Oh my God.
Tested positive. That was quotes. When I tested positive, and he stayed in the guest room the whole entire time. Typically, we would just like both get it, whatever.
Yeah.
But he came home and he was like, I'm not risking Pride for either of us. And so he stayed in the guest room, and then we continued my quarantine past because he was like, no, the first time we hang out is gonna be when we go to have all these things this weekend.
Commitment. I love to see it.
You'll have to, but I feel like you could put together an outfit. It'll be good.
I think I have a daytime outfit. Abby's gonna bring me a couple Forever rejects.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for you to meet Abby.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love her.
She's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited.
How are you feeling this Pride Month so far?
I'm feeling good. Yeah,
Okay.
June has a history of being ups and downs, and usually starts with some downs. So we had a couple of those, but we're definitely turning around. Like, I also had a bachelorette, which was a straight one.
In
Again,
Nashville.
Again, homophobic. How dare they? No, this is my month.
Yeah.
No, but it was a lot of fun. It was in Nashville, which I'd never been to before. Went to a drag brunch.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. So yeah,
How was the drag show? Like, how was Southern drag?
Yeah.
It was.
Tennessee.
I mean, to be honest, it was like a Friday afternoon, so I don't think it was their, top talent.
It was the day shift.
It was the day. It was
the
good. It was really good, but like, I guess it'd be really good for the 12 bachelorettes that were in the room, like those parties.
Oh my God.
But, you know, I've been to a lot, so it's, I mean, I thought they're really good, but I wouldn't say that it's like the best I've seen.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that we're spoiled with Queer Bar.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, that's
I
true.
think that I've never, ever been to a drag show at Queer Bar and been like, it was okay. Like,
I agree.
it's
Yeah.
always so good and so top notch. Even like, my sister went to a drag brunch and she was sending me pictures and I was like, I can't wait for you to go to Queer Bar because it's gonna like be so different. Or Julia's on Broadway is so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Or
Dreamland.
Mhm.
Dreamland is drag brunch in Fremont, and they're really good too.
I don't think
Yes.
I've been to that one. I've heard of it.
Oh,
though.
it's
You would
amazing,
love it,
yeah.
and their food is good. So that's
Food's
nice.
good, service is great, like the
Oh, and
vibe.
lesbian owned.
Lesbian owned.
Amazing.
Lots
Yeah.
of queer, I believe queer people work there, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely just it's a cool place all
Yeah.
around.
We have like a quote unquote gay bar in Coeur d'Alene.
Mix?
Yes.
Oh, trust me, I've been.
Yes. I meant weed.
Yeah, you and I.
Me and Erica.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said quote unquote because it's not. It,
Yeah.
Like, I think that it was like originally had intended on it, and it was originally called Mick and Max,
Mhm.
and it was lesbian owned, but then they got divorced, and
Oh,
now
shit.
it's just Max or Mix,
Yeah.
and by my Mac, and
Bye, girl.
it is not like
Yeah.
it's not a gay bar.
You know, I've spent a lot of time there, especially in my early on and my kind of gay years, because I had a lot of friends in Coeur d'Alene. It was a hub, surprisingly, for a
Yeah.
lot of lesbians. And so I actually had a really good friend that worked there for a long time. So every time I go to Coeur d'Alene, I'd go in there and see
Yeah.
her. And she worked there and did hair at the same time for the longest time. And I
Where did
was
she do hair?
Great question.
Mm.
I'll figure that out
Okay,
for you later.
Yeah. Amanda, you've been there. We went to Mix. Why do I keep doing that? I literally lived there my whole life.
You're gonna trigger Mick.
Yeah, seriously. We went for my bachelorette party. The first night.
Oh, the first night? What
It's
was
kind of
that?
downstairs.
It's down the stairs, and there's the sign that says
Oh.
like, if you are homophobic, racist, like that whole sign
Yes,
thing.
yes,
like,
yes,
this
yes.
is not the place for you.
Oh my god, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
that
yay.
was where we thought Abby lost my ring.
Oh gosh.
Oh yes, that
Yes.
huge place.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a fun bar. It's
Oh
just
my God,
not
we had
very
good
fun.
dancing. There
like-
was millions of straights in there.
Yeah.
But that was a good time. Yeah, big, lots of space.
Yes.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, and that's like the only place that you can really go in Coeur d'Alene to like dance,
Mhm.
like to like pop music.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
okay,
agree.
gotcha.
Yeah, not live music and like,
Right. Or
Yeah.
like country.
Yeah.
and not a lot of the bros, for lack of a better term. They're
Yeah.
kind of on that main drag.
Yeah,
of Coeur
for
d'Alene.
sure. Well, it's funny because like you get the like Idaho bros
Mhm.
on Sherman,
Sherman.
but then if you go to Mix, you get like fuckboy, frat boy
Yes.
bros,
Yeah.
where you're like, get
Interesting.
the fuck.
And never the two shall meet.
It's the ones that think they can turn you.
The
Yeah.
two rows don't cross paths. That's funny.
Yeah.
Wait, how are you feeling this Pride Month? Did you say?
I didn't say, but I'm feeling good. I feel like typically June is like my sister's got me the cutest. I'll show you later because I don't have it on right now because I went to the gym. They got me a cute little pride ring.
Oh, I saw a
It was
picture.
rainbow. It's really, really pretty and I like it a lot.
Cute.
And then they also got me candy in like picture like a tackle box, like a
Mhm.
clear tackle box, and they wrote "Shade never made anybody less gay."
Oh.
And then each row they made it the pride flag full of candy.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Did I say this on the last
No,
pod?
you didn't say this, but you
No.
sent a snap about it.
Okay, yeah.
And that was so cute.
I would
So
remember
cute.
that. Yeah.
Veronica, my sister Ron, she went to Winco and she said that she spent an hour and a half like digging through with the little tiny tongs
For, like,
to
each
get all of the
color?
colors.
Oh my
That's
god.
Yeah,
adorable.
really, really cute.
Why isn't anybody doing this shit for me?
Yeah, what's going on with your brothers?
Yeah.
Our friend Kenzie, I saw her the night that I got it from my sister, and she was like eating. She like sent it to her brothers, and she was like, "What the fuck, guys?
Seriously.
Where are you on this?" And then our friend Spencer tried to eat candy out of it, and she slammed it shut and goes, "Are you gay?"
Not for
She's like,
you.
"This is not for you."
That's so funny. My mom did, I think it was it last year or the year before, where they federally protected the right to work for gay people? Like,
Yeah,
you
the
can't
Title
discriminate
I
and
think
work
it was last
based on
year.
what, yeah, it might have been last summer. My mom like made like homemade pizzas that were rainbow for me when I came over, and like had rainbow like fruit skewers and like a bunch of candy. And she was like, "Cause they passed that thing and that can work." And I was like, "Yeah." It was
my
so
family
sweet.
is slacking.
I know. Tell your mom you gotta.
Then
step
again,
it
I don't
up.
really ask for even like a birthday present, so I wouldn't assume like a pride present.
They're like,
would
"You're
be-
gay every year. Here we go."
Yeah, so I mean, I love June. It's my favorite. It's so
Me
fun.
too.
It's like half Christmas. I'm always like, it's Pride and Christmas are like my two favorite holidays.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm just so excited. This month has been really hectic for me. I like accidentally quit my job. So if you are a client of mine and you're listening, actually I had a client that I like adore, and her name is Ava, and she like listens to the pod, and I was like, I hope she follows me. And then I was like, if she doesn't, I'm gonna say something on the pod about it.
Pump your shit
She
or whatever.
booked an
Okay.
appointment. But
It was on top of it.
What do you call it? Like boost it, promo, shout it out, whatever.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, promote it. Like
Yeah.
say like or
Yeah.
say like
So
follow your Instagram or
follow
whatever.
me, Nicolette Lasky on Instagram. I have link in bio to
Yeah.
book a hair appointment. But I'm moving salons starting in July. So like this, I just accidentally gave my 2 weeks earlier
Yeah.
than 2 weeks. So I haven't been working this month. So I went and I spent some time in Coeur d'Alene with my family, and that was really fun. And now I'm just like neck deep. What is
Yeah,
it?
knee deep is good.
Okay.
I think. I don't know how deep you want to be.
We'll get into that later.
The laughter kicked in.
I'm knee deep in like a bunch of like legal stuff that is like so over my head of like LLCs and tax this shit and like how to make my own business and all of that. Nathan's like real estate team, like LLC, is called Team Lasky. And so I made my hair one, Team Lasky Hair, which I think is really
I
cute.
love that. We're expanding the team.
We are.
Of what they're capable of.
Yeah, Nathan was like, Tanner will be Team Lasky Fitness. We're just gonna have all these entrepreneurs.
Oh,
so
that's so cute.
we're good. It just is a very, very busy month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So excited for Pride though. It's gonna be so fun.
Okay, speaking of Pride,
Yeah.
we have Erica here specifically because we did a kind of Ask Erica Anything situation. And last year when Amanda and I started the pod, we started like around this time, and we had only put out a couple pods, and then we did our coming out stories, which was like really emotional. And I feel like even before, Erica, you were like, I've never done that before. Like, I've never had to like sit down and like, you know, figure all of that out. And I was just thinking of like, I'm really thankful that we did that, I like have it and it's documented and recorded. And like, I feel like that's really, really special.
Yeah.
And something that like a lot of, you know, people don't, you know, sit down and think about at all. I mean,
it's really nice because then it's like, at least for me, I was remembering things that I did along the way and was able to sit and realize, oh my gosh, I've come so far. And I love our journey. Like, to look back on your journey from where you've been, you can be proud of yourself when in the moment it's like gritty and hard and sad or whatever. And then you come out the other side and it's nice to kind of chronicle. That.
Do you feel any kind of way about, like, I almost listened to mine recently, like, just, it's June, it's been a year since we did it, like, all of that. And I couldn't really. I don't know what that's about. I feel like maybe I need to call my therapist.
Maybe. I've re-listened to mine a bunch of times. I think it's because I always want to make sure if I'm speaking on something that's that near and dear to my heart. Like, obviously we talk about pop culture and stuff, and I'm like, if my opinions change, I'm not like, oh, I need to go back and retract what I said about Kendall Jenner. Like, I don't care. But when it was something so special to me, sometimes I go back and listen to it. Even if I'm feeling low, to be like proud of myself, it kind of gives me a boost. Or to make sure also, like, okay, yeah, that is exactly what happened, and I'm valid, and I love myself. Like, that kind of shit.
Well, I mean, I have listened to the episode a time or two, and I think it's just really hard for a lot of people to go back and relive, because you talked about it, coming out is very traumatizing, and so to go back and to recount it and relive those moments, and, you know, being able to talk about it on the positive side, but like, that's hard. It's like, sometimes I don't like going back and I don't remember things because I just don't need to. It's totally. So, you know, I always think it's really impressive, like you said, to have that as a keepsake and to be proud of yourself for going through that and like.
Got it. Should we shove the microphone more into it?
So sorry, I move when I talk.
No, it's okay.
No, it's really impressive, and you know, for me, it was one of the first episodes that I listened to of the pod to kind of, I mean.
Oh my god, did you just fall madly in love with her right there?
Well, it was. I don't want to talk about how early that was, but I listened to that pretty close after our first date. So I've listened to it since then, and now, you know, knowing her friends specifically, knowing her family, and re-listening to it, and like I felt like I've listened to that same story 3 different times with 3 different perspectives.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I
This
recently
bitch loves me
told
so
I recently told somebody that is important to me that doesn't listen to the pod regularly to listen to it, and I think that that's part of the reason why I haven't been able to is because I'm like, I know he's gonna listen to it soon, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to hear what he's going to listen to.
Yes,
now.
and you're gonna listen to it through his ears.
Yes.
Just like when you rewatch your own Instagram stories when you see that someone has watched it, and you're like, oh, now I'm looking at it from their perspective.
Yeah, and I think I just want to like give him the space of like listening to that on his own. Without me being like, oh, how did you feel when I said this, or you know what I mean? Just like taking his reaction for like whatever it's gonna be.
100%.
Kind of thing. So I'm glad that we have it, and I'm really proud of us for doing that.
Yeah, me too.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into your questions. Am I asking them?
You can ask them,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Let me, unlock your phone. We have some questions. You can start maybe at the bottom one. There's like a bunch of whatever you want to ask Erica. And we can pepper in our own as well. Because I feel like there's things I want to know too. Like, can I start with one?
Yeah, you should start.
Like, when did you first realize you were gay, or you liked girls, or you were different? When was like the first?
I feel like those are 3 separate times in my life.
Well, when did you first realize anything?
Anything. Well, when I was growing up, I never really had very strong feelings one way or the other. Obviously, when we grow up, we're taught if you're a girl, you're supposed to like boys and supposed to have crushes on boys, and you know, you go crazy for them, and that's what my friends were doing. And I played sports. I was really into sports. I was really into my friends, but I kind of didn't understand the hype when it came to boys. I was never boy crazy, but never did that also cross my mind of, oh, maybe it's because it's something else.
Yeah.
I truly was just like, I don't get the hype, but okay, like, I guess I'll make out with that guy, like, sure. And so I didn't get it. And for a long time, I, you know, didn't have a lot of boyfriends. I wasn't trying to, and if I did, it was just because like my friends did, and we all hung out with the same group of people. So I'm like, well, it's just the 2 of us, so I guess we can date, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was probably that was through college. Even in college, you know, where you're supposed to experiment and do all that kind of stuff, it still never really crossed my mind. And I remember having a boyfriend my senior year of college, and yeah, he was a sweet guy, super sweet guy, but when we were graduating, I was like, okay, bye. And so I ended up moving to Salt Lake City, and around 2014, summer of 2014, I started to make friends and hang out with people who were gay. Some like girls that were bi or lesbian, just family friend that kind of brought me around her friends who were. And I think I kind of just like was more of curious. It was a curiosity, but it never really clicked to be like, I'm that. It was like, why am I invested in these people more? Why am I, you know, even on TV shows and stuff, I'm like, why am I more invested in this Cali and Arizona storyline on Grey's Anatomy? And like, I could care about anyone else, but like, that's not me, you know?
Do you think that it has anything to do with like being where you were, where you grew up, where like you didn't see it a lot?
Yes.
So it's like, oh, it's not like abnormal. It's not like what, like you didn't think about it because you didn't see it.
Yeah, I definitely think it was one of those out of sight, out of mind.
Totally.
I obviously knew about gay people, but if you don't have a gay friend or you don't see that is a life that you can live,
Totally.
You know, even if TV is one thing, but even just a friend or a group of friends, and I'm like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel different. This feels normal. Okay, this is a normal, you know, way of living your life. So yeah, no, I think
even
it's
like
absolutely
the conversations with queer people that like are out or like are aware that they're gay or whatever. It's like, you know, it's those. It's like that stupid TikTok that I saw recently. That was this woman, and she was like, for men out there, like, what is it about boobs? And then this bi woman that I follow was like, she like stitched it and she goes, they're boobs.
Yeah, like you don't get it?
They're boobs.
Yeah.
And then she goes, if I didn't know, she was like, I would have found out that I was bi a lot sooner if I knew straight people felt this way about boobs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're boobs.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is very, like, growing up in an area where there's not a lot of queer people, you, like, truly don't know how, it's not even, like, you don't know about gay people, it's like, you don't know that straight people don't feel the way that you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the big difference, is you, like, have never had somebody be like, hey, babe, straight people don't think like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the, like, oh, like,
Totally.
this isn't, you know, the same as what other people are feeling.
Yeah. Or, I mean, this comparison of, like, you don't know that you need glasses until all of a sudden you put glasses on and you're like, well, holy shit, that's what I'm supposed to be seeing?
Oh my
Like,
god, when Erica Hahn says that she saw leaves.
oh, yes.
Oh, so good.
Is that
Classic
from
Grey's
Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, I know what that is. Is she lesbian in real life?
No.
No. I
Oh,
don't
she
think
gives
so.
the vibes.
Yeah.
The blonde one, right?
Yeah. No, that's Arizona.
No, I was thinking
Erica Hahn.
You
after she
Silence
had
of
sex
Lambs.
with Callie.
Yes.
And she's like,
She's crying. Mm-hmm. She was like,
You saw that on like a super cut on YouTube or something.
Yeah. Top lesbian moments in
Yes.
TV.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then
I
like,
love
you
that.
moved. You started to hang
Yeah,
out with more queer
so
people.
I started to hang out. It's kind of like I graduated college and I moved to Salt Lake City by myself. I didn't know a single person, like completely on my own, and so you have to kind of work hard to meet friends and all that. And so I was meeting all these friends, and when I go home, I hang out with this group of new friends. And I think it was summer of 2014, that I met a girl who was shockingly dating my close friend at the time. And so
Was that friend a guy or a girl?
no, it was a girl.
Okay, so
I knew that they were gay, like, and this was the person who had introduced me to the group, introduced me to her girlfriend. I was like, and her girlfriend also was like, and long story short, I realized, like, we would text all the time, and I realized at that point in time that I had never felt feelings for someone like that. It wasn't even a sexual thing. Like, I had felt true feelings for this person that was a female.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, maybe these things are starting to click a little bit more, and, you know, I'm trying to figure it out, but I didn't really explore anything until, like, one drunken night, and that's a long story, but I ended up sleeping with a girl, and I remember waking up the next morning being like, well, that wasn't weird for me. Like, that didn't feel wrong, that didn't feel other. I was just like, okay. So in my brain, I was like, okay, so that's a possibility now too, and it's not different. And then, you know, years go by, and I'm like, okay, well, I keep only doing that with females, and like,
Can you say women?
women, sorry, you're
Thank
so
you
right.
so
we
much.
had a whole podcast.
I know, I'm aware, and I don't think I've said that.
No, you haven't. I swear I've fixed her from it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can say female doctor, but like, you can just say women.
Well, it should be just doctor.
It should just be
Well,
doctor.
you know what I mean?
Wow,
It's
you're
like
really
women.
fucking sexist.
I'm saying like, I would prefer a female doctor.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But like,
I had only slept with women kind of after that, and
Good job,
once in a
honey.
while I would, thank you, babe. Always making better. So I kind of, it started out down the bi path because that's what you think. Well, I've only done this with men, and now I'm doing this with women. Okay, I'm both. But then I was like, oh, it's just one side. And then I started to realize, oh, I do have a sex drive. It's just for women. It's not for men. And then I'm like, okay, I understand crushes and, you know, wanting to just make out with people and do all the crazy stuff. And so, yeah, that was kind of probably about I was 23, 24 when that all happened.
Yeah.
So a little bit later.
Probably, I don't want to put like feelings into your brain or heart, but like I would assume that probably felt really lonely, like in the beginning portion of your like young adult life of like, all of these people are experiencing this thing that I don't really get.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at compartmentalizing, and I was just kind of, you know, thinking, okay, well, maybe that's just something that I'm not going to experience right now, but it will come later. I'll focus on these other things. I'll focus on school, on work, on all those other things. And I had fun. I'd go out with my friends and flirt and all that kind of stuff. But I was also very career driven, so that growing up, especially after I graduated college, I never wanted someone to hold me back from a promotion or a change or something like that. So I kind of closed myself off from that. I'm like, well, if I don't feel those strong feelings, then I don't really need to go looking for them.
Yeah.
And so that kind of drove me probably until I turned like 30. So
can I go back? This girl and the girlfriend, was she emotionally cheating on her girlfriend with you?
I have that question too.
Yeah.
No.
I know you've told me this story before.
Yeah, if I were to be honest, not on that girlfriend at the time, but because no, I know it sounds terrible, but because I lived in Salt Lake City and she lived in Coeur d'Alene at the time, she got with a different
What's her
girlfriend.
name? No,
No.
She got with a different girlfriend.
She was with a different girlfriend, and we would just continue communication. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit, like, it was not respectful necessarily to the relationship. There wasn't any physical cheating, but I definitely would say, like, emotionally, I knew that she had feelings for me and I had feelings for her.
Yeah, anytime that you're like continuously having a conversation with somebody that's not your partner, and like you're thinking about texting them, like in a way that's not communicative.
The
playlist, the content of what you're talking about. I will give you a little, obviously it's mostly her responsibility because she's the one in our relationship to protect her relationship. I will give you a little bit of grace too, being like, that was your first time experiencing feelings. For a woman, it was probably very confusing to realize what boundaries were.
Yeah.
So, but that's super interesting.
Especially being a woman. Like, I feel like that is, you know,
because we're just girlies. We love each other.
Girlies. Well, I didn't know, and what was the line between a really, really good friend and, emotional cheating in a relationship, because I hadn't really been in, like, a serious relationship to be like, oh, if I were that person, again, hindsight, I knew everything was, I did not respect that relationship, and it was very clear, and it was, like, known during the relationship, too. It was not great. So
what a weird vibe.
We live and we learn.
Yeah, we definitely do.
We evolve.
I have improved.
Will you
unlock the phone to see what other cues?
I was about to say the code, but let's not do that.
That was a good synopsis, though.
Yeah, yes. I like that.
What a journey you've been on.
And then it was just exponential curve after that. Just went off.
Like, oh, fuck all the bitches.
And then you like to call yourself a lesbian, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lesbian, or, again, queer is an all-encompassing.
Yeah.
I identify as a cis woman. That's just always how I have identified. I've never questioned that myself, but I also have, I don't kind of put a lot of my womanhood into how I present.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes that's very different for some people. They don't feel the same inside and they want to present differently, and I just I respect that, and I think it's super important, and I just, maybe if I gave more thought to it, I don't know, I just I like being a woman, but I don't feel like that needs to.
No, I mean, that's so valid. Like, you don't owe that explanation to anybody either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that can always change. I mean,
Yeah, and womanhood isn't synonymous with femme, like
high
femme.
Absolutely.
Like, how you show up as a masked lesbian is just as much as a woman as anybody else.
Okay, with that being said, like, with that leads me into my next question.
Mm-hmm.
What does being queer mean to you?
Oh, love that.
Do you want, I'll go first?
If you want to, yeah.
I'll go first. Going back to kind of what I mentioned earlier, to me, being queer is truly the glasses I see the world through. So it's how I perceive the world every day. I think when a lot of straight people don't realize that anything is different because that's what the normal is, and so when I identify as queer, I feel like that kind of puts a rose-colored tint to everything that I do. And so even when I'm looking at someone who may be being treated other because of maybe the way that they're dressed or whatever, like, I don't look at that as other. I consider the other part of me. Mm-hmm. And so I try to be kinder to everyone that is considered other, because it's just like, I am other, whether you can tell it, like, a lot of times in work and stuff I present pretty heteronormative, but queerness is, like, literally my favorite part about myself. Mm-hmm. And so I try to, like, find the cool quirkiness of everyone else that isn't, the standard or the normal.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's really sweet.
Yeah. What about you, Amanda?
I think what being queer means to me is similar. Or I think it means, it's similar in the sense as it's like my worldview.
Mm-hmm.
It's how I see things, and it means a responsibility a little bit of fighting for people who are othered, and especially in our community too, like as like all of us are white women, we're more privileged than a lot of people in the queer community that deal with other things like intersecting with racism and ableism and like people who are trans and things like that. So I feel like being queer means being responsible for fighting for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it also means for me, like you said this, Erica mentioned to me earlier, she was like, it's just, if you're not straight and cis, like if you're not one of those things, like we welcome you into the family, basically.
Yeah.
So I feel like it also means family and rainbow love, all of it. What about you, Nikki?
I think that for me, maybe I'm a little bit more self-indulged.
No, tell us.
My brother asked me recently, he said something along the lines of like, why does it matter? Like, like literally, why does it matter? Why the labels? Why the boxes? Why do we have to like, we should just all be able to like, be whoever we are. And I think that the reason why, like, what does queer mean to me is like, it's so hard for some of us to get here. And I think that it truly means self-love. And for me, it's like, for me to be able to come out and say like, I am bi and I am queer. And the reason why it's not just as simple as like, why do we care? It's because of the fight. Like that for me is like really what it is. And I'm married to a man, and sometimes it's really hard to feel like nobody sees that part of me, so I'm gonna say it. Like you don't see it, you really don't see it when you look at me. I like all the time, I'm like, I should have put this little rainbow tattoo somewhere a lot more visible.
On your forehead.
Yeah, because for me it's not apparent at all. I don't present queer at all, and so I like that self-love is really important. But then the reason I'm saying it is because it's important to me. It's important to like that everybody knows this about me, because it's one of my favorite things about myself. And so I guess that's what it means to me. But then pride, I think, would be a lot more of how I, think of what you guys, at least
like
to
other
me.
people.
Yeah, like when I think of pride, I recently was telling some friends from home that like that pride is for all of us. Like I have a lot of friends that like will say like, oh, I'm definitely not straight, and I'm like, it doesn't, like, you don't have to earn your spot in pride. Like it is for everybody. I've been saying a lot this year, like Q is also for questioning, and like pride is for you. And I just think that level of like queerness of like, we want you here, babe. Like, and that took a long time for me to feel like I earned my, like, and again, air quotes, so like I earned my space here. And I think that is, I feel like I'm rambling and maybe missing a point a little bit.
No,
I'm
okay. Following you.
Yeah. But I think that like that's what being queer means. And then like that leads into why pride.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always think too, I've always considered this, since I've really embraced being queer as well, is it feels like I'm in this exclusive club.
Yeah.
It's like this queer club that like you don't get to just come in just because you want to like, we've fought to be here, some people much more than others, but it's just like club that we all accept each other. When I go to Pride and I see people wearing the craziest costumes or lack thereof, and I just look at that, even at a gay bar or whatever, I'm like, that's my people. Like they are my family, and I do not look at them like what are they doing? I'm like, go off, go have the best time. If this makes you feel good, welcome to the club. Like I love that part.
And if you are judgmental, stay the fuck home. Stay home. I cannot stand if I'm at Pride and I see people looking at other people weird. I'm like, go home.
It's also funny because I would consider myself a very judgmental person. Not necessarily like
self-proclaimed.
But like I feel like it's like I don't even know what it is. It might be like growing up with sisters, just like being like, but like when it comes to pride, it's like that is not, like it's nothing, like it's nowhere near like, I don't know. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
obviously there's all things that you're like, oh, I wouldn't do that, but it's like the point is celebration and just being in your truest form, whatever that is for you. And it makes me so happy to see everyone living their best lives. And it's, you said it, we're kind of going into like, now what does pride mean to you? But Erica was saying to me a while ago that pride is, oh no, I'm losing it. I'm losing my thought. What was it? Something about, oh, we're the majority.
Oh, yeah.
You walk around and you feel like we're the majority.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone is gay, everyone is queer. You don't feel unsafe at all.
And
like,
you don't feel othered.
I had that conversation when I was in Coeur d'Alene because somebody said to me, like, do you get nervous at all? Like, right now it's not, you know, the United States of America is not a safe space, a safe place to be LGBTQ plus and IA plus. And I was like, well, number one, I'm a white, like, very straight looking woman. So like, I'm not, you know, the people that we need to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I'm not more fearful because I'm gay than I am fearful because I'm a woman. Yes. And they said, right, but like during Pride, like, are you scared of like shootings and all of those things? And I was like, of course. Like, that is a thought that, you know, anytime I'm anywhere, just in general, I'm
like
scared
in a movie theater.
Yes. But I would say I have that fear going to Pride, and then once I'm there, it's literally Disneyland. Like, I get there and I see the happiness, and there's like nothing that can take that away, even the fear. Like, it just, even protesters, like, whatever, it doesn't feel like you only feel safe, you only feel happy. It's like, I swear I wasn't about to cry. I literally just got too much air in my throat. But it's just like so fucking happy. And like, I remember last year just like seeing the like little kid that like was very, very like queer, you could just tell, and their parents were like, that you could almost see that it was like, this is the parents' first Pride ever, and they were bringing their little kid, and you could just feel it, and it just was like beautiful and magical, and just like, there's nothing that beats it.
It is truly like my Christmas. Like, I am so happy to be there every single time.
It's really hard to explain that to people who don't feel like othered in certain situations. Like, you know, you go into that bachelorette, everyone, it doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong, or when I went to mine, but sometimes I realize, oh, I'm not surrounded by all my queer friends, and in my little queer bubble that I am so privileged that I get to live in. And then you go out of that and you're like, oh wow, all of a sudden I'm questioning how I, you know, if I use pronouns with my girlfriend when someone's asking me, because I don't know where I'm at and who I'm talking to.
Right.
And so somewhere like Pride, where it's just beautiful.
Yeah. We've talked, Nathan and I have talked about that, like, in like when we talk about maybe like where we would want to raise our kids, we've talked about like, oh, Coeur d'Alene or here or whatever. And I said, like, it's really important to me to raise my, like, a child in queer spaces. That's super, super important. And the people, I mean, my husband understands, but the people that don't get that, it's because you're exactly right, that they don't feel othered, and so they don't understand how important it is to be in those spaces. Because for other people that don't get it, it's not important.
And we have had conversations like, we live in Seattle, which is a very progressive, so to speak, city. And so walking around like Capitol Hill, I don't think that much about us holding hands. When we pass maybe a large group of men, I do. I feel like I'm normally hyper aware of my surroundings. But during Pride, it's like your body lets that go. Like, there are protesters, and that's annoying. And sometimes I do fear, especially around the parade, like, you know, a shooter or something like that. I had a little bit of anxiety overwhelm last year, but then you kind of just have to, it is like Disneyland, so you can try to just put it out of your mind. But, you know, I think about us as a couple walking around and just our general safety, and even things like, it's just so interesting, like people who are, it's such an interesting dynamic. I was just talking about this to Erica too, like people now who are trying to repeal gay marriage, like, you are just as queer as I am, but they're not looking at you and your husband. Like, they're looking at directly like the union we would create. And for other people in same-sex relationships or trans people, just stripping their rights. So it's like, oh my God, I know so much is going on with like a threat to our whole community, and the Human Rights Campaign says we're in a state of emergency. But I'm like, at least we have Pride where we can just try to relax a little bit. Hopefully, if you're in a city and state where you feel that, it's a beautiful thing.
And then we keep the fight going.
Yeah. Big slide.
Okay, so most U-Haul thing you've done.
Let's take a little turn.
I know. I feel like starting with what?
But to address the U-Haul.
Oh yeah, you want to say
what do you
a
have
little
to say
thing
about it?
Well, you're much better with your words.
Did I talk about this already? It was
A little bit. I think you touched on it. But the idea that when women move fast, it's U-hauling, but when heterosexual couples do it, it's they knew. They just knew.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think whatever relationship you're in, move at the pace that's right for that relationship.
Yeah.
And let's not try to perpetuate too many stereotypes. With that being said, I think I gave.
Or let's also start shaming hetero couples.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then that's where I'm judging. No, I'm kidding.
Which is funny because I do, when hetero couples do that, I'm like, oh, you're
U-Hauling.
U-Hauling.
No,
That's what
I
I do.
have a t-shirt from a queer company that says never go slow, U-Haul. That's a cute thing.
I U-Hauled here.
You absolutely did.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely
Yeah.
did.
I was trying to think of the most U-Haul thing I've done, which has never happened in any other relationship except with Amanda. And I think it was pretty quickly after we started dating, probably after we were
Officially
maybe
girlfriends
even before that.
I don't know.
I gave her a key to my apartment solely because with what I do for work, I leave very early in the morning, and and she stays. Here's the thing: you also need a fob to my building. So I was like, I need you to be able to at least lock my apartment
As I leave.
as you go, and then like I'll let you in. And so I gave her a key, so I was like, so she could lock.
That's just common sense.
I know.
I'm a very practical person.
And then she gave me a bathroom drawer probably around the same time.
Yeah.
And then I got like 2 more drawers. And then I got a key fob to the building.
Yeah. Because I was like, I can't keep coming downstairs to get you every time.
Yeah. And so, we've been pretty U-Haul-y.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been dating 6 months and I live with you.
Yeah.
So,
We were like, we're going to take it slow. We're going to wait till your lease is up.
Fuck that.
Okay, what was your most intense first date?
Oh.
Intense.
First date?
Yeah.
I don't do you have an intense first date?
Intense? I vaguely remember going on this date with this guy when I was living in Salt Lake City, which I was going on a lot of first dates and with a lot of Jack Mormons and
I was gonna make a joke when you said that you moved to Salt Lake City, and I was like, wow.
Which is funny though, because Salt Lake is one of the best places for, I believe it's gay men to live.
In that city?
In that city, yeah.
Oh,
and it was the
wow.
first Pride that I ever went to as an ally. With air
Strong
quotes.
ally.
Speak ally.
Strong air quotes on that. And I was like, I just want to help. And, but I remember going on a date with this guy, and we went to dinner or something like that, and then he put me on the back of his like motorcycle, and we went like zipping around the canyon, and I was like, I'm not a thrill seeker, absolutely not. No, did not see him again.
That's so funny. I remember, I think I've mentioned this before, but it wasn't intense, but I went on one first date with a woman, like before we started dating, obviously, like over a year ago, and we just had a normally fine time, and then as soon as we left, we just never texted each other ever again. But she works for the Seattle Storm, and when we went to the game the other weekend, and I went to the bathroom, I saw her, and I was like, ugh, skirt.
You didn't tell me that.
I know,
that would have been
I was gonna tell you as soon as I sat back down again, but I forgot. And I think I told you about the cute baby I saw in the hallway instead.
That's
so funny.
Distracted.
What about you? Do you have an intense first date?
Let's see. I think that I've talked about it on the pod before, but I've had like a scary first date. Like,
the taco truck guy?
Yeah.
You've told that story.
He was like very, very scary, and I was just like, oh.
Basically followed you home.
Yes. Yeah. Would not leave, let himself into my house. It was very, very scary.
Hate that.
So I would definitely say that was like the most intense for sure.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah. Okay. Funniest sex story.
You have a funny one.
Yeah.
Funny one.
I feel like we did this on our Ask
We
Us
did.
Anything.
Oh, and I have thought of another one since.
Okay, great. Share.
Okay. The first guy I hooked up with after my long-term boyfriend in college, I was like, great, this is done. I need to sleep with somebody else and just hope that it's not as bad as it's always been. And then I slept with this guy. I met him at a party. He had like tattoos and gauges. I was like, he looks cool. He told one of my guy friends that he was into me. So I was like, great, let's like go do this. I don't think we did it that night. I think I texted him another night. Either way, I go to his house and we like get in his bedroom and he pulls out a guitar. And I go, please do not serenade me. And he does, and he proceeds to sing me a song that he wrote about his friend taking his own life. And I was like, what in the world gave you the idea that this is the moment for that? And he wasn't a half bad singer, but I was like, I'm a sure thing. We don't need to do all this like right now. And then his huge dog was just sleeping in the corner of the room watching us the whole time.
Did you proceed to have sex with this person?
I was like, wow. I'm already here. I've already come this far. And then
did you come this far?
No, I didn't. But then the next morning, he lived in like a frat house, and so I spent the night, and I was like naked in the sheets, and one of his frat brothers comes in.
Were you in a butt hut, or were you in a room?
In a bedroom.
Okay.
It wasn't a sleeping porch or whatever. But his friend like comes in and jumps on the bed on us like as a joke, and I'm like, oh my god, like
good.
I want clothes on, and he's like, this is nothing I haven't seen before, and I'm like, I'm not worried about how comfortable you are in this situation. I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And then I did, thank God. But yeah, I thought of that recently.
There was one time where I used to travel for work, and so I was in Spokane traveling for work, and a friend that I hung out with all the time, I mentioned to her that I thought her friend was cute, and she thought it'd be a great an entertaining story to just text her and tell her to come meet us immediately.
Oh no.
So this is like a weeknight, and we all get drunk on a weeknight, shocker, and long story short, we go back to my hotel room, because again, I'm traveling for work, so I have a hotel room, and we hook up, and she's, like, I used the word scary, because I actually was a little afraid for my life, and then...
Like aggressive?
Aggressive.
Okay, I'm like, describe what
sorry,
you were
aggressive.
Like, okay.
No, sorry, aggressive, just
multiple
kind of...
trigger warnings.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Just a little much for you.
Much.
Okay,
yes.
Got it.
And she needed to go to the bathroom afterwards, and so she went into the bathroom, and it had this like sliding door instead of an open one, and she slid it shut, and then it would not open. She could not get out of the bathroom.
Oh my god.
And so I had to call the hotel maintenance at like 1 a.m. And I had plenty of time to put on clothes for the maintenance guy to show up.
And it was you said that it was like clear?
No, it wasn't clear. It was like a sliding door. So she
okay,
basically...
I was thinking of like a shower door.
No.
Okay.
No.
This was into the bathroom.
Yes.
It was a pocket door.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
she's naked in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Naked in there, and she basically had a towel around. It was so clear what had just happened.
Right.
And we were just like, thanks.
Thank you.
The guy comes up to
We're
just
and
friends.
I stay at this hotel. I stayed there every time I went to town, so I would see this person.
So you know these people. Oh no.
Yeah, they would upgrade me all the time, and I'm like, sorry about that.
That's so funny.
We're just friends, I swear.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
What was your piercing one too? Was that funny? I don't remember.
Was that funny?
She was trying to tell me some of these earlier so I could be like green light or whoa, that's a lot, don't say that.
Okay, we'll share the ones that are not a lot. I'm kidding.
Piercings one was just I ended up again a drunken night going home with someone, and I was making out with her, and I was like, oh okay, she has a tongue ring. Like I had never, I think, kissed anyone with a tongue ring at that point in time. And so I was like, okay, things proceed, and I was like, oh, she has her nipples pierced. I was like, okay, so that's different.
This sounds like two blondes walk into a bar.
I mean,
and one has her nipples pierced.
Yeah. And then things proceed some more, and ends up she has that
good old fashioned clip here.
Yes. Yep. And I was just like, I'm gonna chip my tooth doing this. Like, what's going on?
I don't really know what to do with
Not
this.
chipping your tooth.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. And then I had to leave the next morning because her son was coming home. So. Yeah. Wild times in Boise.
So funny.
So funny.
Oh my god, not chipping the tooth. That's
Not
hilarious.
chipping the tooth. Okay, first time strapping someone.
Why'd you look directly at me?
I like, if I'm being honest, I used to drink heavily, and so
I also love all of these stories because Erica no longer drinks.
I don't drink.
So it's
There's a
so
clear
much
reason
funnier.
if we can see. Yeah.
Also, my husband just walked home got home from all of this, and he's poked his head in 3 times. What's going on?
Yeah. So I can't really say like I could give you vivid details about the first time I ever strapped someone. Yeah. I honestly, it probably wasn't great. If I'm being honest,
You're like missing because you're drunk.
Like I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this thing?
That's so funny.
My first time was like the person I was hooking up with before you. Yeah. So you know who that is.
Sorry, Tess.
It was
Shout
good
out to
vibes.
them.
It was good vibes for
Okay. Top gay songs.
Oh, let's all answer this. Do you have something?
Should we say it on 3?
The one that I know you're gonna say. Which one do you think she would say? Top gay song.
Okay for me?
No.
Oh, that's a great one too.
I'll say it with you. 1, 2, 3. Becky's So Hot.
Oh. I was gonna say anything by Fletcher. So.
Yeah.
But also I love I can be a better boyfriend than him.
Oh, Def Cameron.
Oh,
Yes, it's
yeah.
so good.
She's bi, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Is she? Yeah.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah.
There's no way she wrote that song.
No.
that's
I
true.
just didn't know if she was a full lesbian or bi.
Oh, okay.
A
Yeah.
full lesbian. An
Full.
FBL. Full-blown lesbian.
She's on the spectrum.
She's just
Yeah.
happy.
I love Gay For Me. That was my top Spotify song last year.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But I also love, anything by Fletcher, specifically Bitter, Becky So Hot.
Oh, I love Bitter.
Love Better Version.
I love Bloom by
Troye Sivan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My, Troye
I was gonna say like
Sivan.
anything by Troye Sivan.
I'm gonna say that Bad Romance by Lady Gaga counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like our song too. Love
Yeah.
that one.
Any song is gay if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
Oh, Robin. I mean, that's
Dancing on My Own.
That's like a
That's like a gay
iconic.
anthem. Oh, I will also say Pink by Janelle Monáe.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about pussy in that song.
Yes, she
That's
dresses up like a pussy in the video.
I think so, yeah.
Vulva. Big
Yeah.
vulva.
right. Yeah.
Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Cut to a Feeling, always.
Yes,
That's just
Carly
like-
Rae Jepsen.
Yes, it's not like explicitly
Cut
gay,
to
but like
a
it feels gay. It
Oh,
feels
yeah.
so proud and
Yeah.
happy.
I mean,
gay adjacent.
her
Yes.
music is gay, so yes.
Yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
anything by Lauren Sanderson. Shout out Lauren Sanderson. But I like it. I love that one. What else did she sing?
I Could Be Your Man by G Flip.
Oh yeah, Be Your Man by G Flip.
Mhm.
That's a good one. There's so much.
How do we feel, tangent, how do we feel about age gaps with lesbian couples? Because I don't care.
You're talking about Chrishell and G Flip.
Yes, it's a whole entire storyline on Selling Sunsets this year because like Jason's date is like 40 something.
Kimchi's drinking out of our water glass, but I haven't drank out of it, so it's fine for her to do that.
I don't think she cares if you have drink out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not
water.
gonna drink out of it anymore, but it's fine. I know what you're talking about because on Selling Sunset, Jason was dating a much younger woman, and everyone was giving him shit.
Hold on, Erica, it's making like a...
Oh,
you can't touch
Don't
the
touch
cord.
it, sorry.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
a fiddler.
But meanwhile, Chrishell is also dating a much younger person.
Yes, I mean, it's Kimchi. I just yelled at you for something Kimchi's doing.
No, I heard her doing this.
Okay. Yeah, Jason's dating somebody that's like 20 something years younger than him, and then G Flip is like a couple years younger than Chrishell.
Like 13 years. It's a big gap.
So it's a big gap, but like I don't care. Well, let me go back to what I said because I said women and G Flip is non-binary,
Yeah.
but I still don't care.
It's
It
the
doesn't
same
seem
way-
predatory.
It's the same way I feel about Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck. Let
Me
them
neither.
live.
Let them live.
But I feel like it's different if the people are both reasonably well into adulthood.
Yes,
like
I
G
agree.
Flip is 28, 27, I think. Like that's enough age where your frontal lobe's fully developed.
Totally.
Hopefully there's no grooming that's happened and that kind of a thing. I think if you're two consenting adults, it's fine,
Yes.
and there's not a power imbalance.
I also think very, 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 very rich white man that is 40 something and you were 21 is just like, it's very, very different.
No, it's, agree.
Okay. I also just love G-Flip and Chriselle, so I didn't know if that was...
On the Bachelorette I was at over the weekend, we drove by the La Jolla Oppenheim group.
Yeah. Oh, the Oppenheimer. That's not that. Never mind.
The Oppenheim group. I don't know how you say it. But we drove by that location, so we were talking about Selling Sunset, and people were asking me if I knew that Chriselle was gonna be queer, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really saw that
token gay person.
I was like, I mean, when she did the music video, I thought there was some sparks there, but we only saw the music video kind of after they already, I think, were rumored to be together.
I feel like I never am like, oh, well, that's not true. Every once in a while, I'm like, that person is gay. But I feel mostly, I feel like I am more like, I hope that person is gay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope we have this thing in common.
Same, yeah. Oh, you wouldn't.
Or when you
Kelsey
do find...
Ballerini.
Yes.
I'm like, good luck with that one.
Or when you find out someone is, you're like, all of a sudden you're like,
I like you.
them.
Yeah, 100%.
That time you ever find, I find it at work a lot too. If I find that like a coworker or something is also queer, it's like this instant bond that you're like, we have something that connects us. So
the only person ever that I think that I was like, okay, I still really don't like you.
Can we say it on the count of 3?
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Colton Underwood. Yes, I knew it. I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, the only person that where it's been even more the opposite has been him. He came out as gay.
I was like,
nobody
don't
fucking
speak for
cares.
us. Don't speak for us.
Because it doesn't erase the fact that he stalked his ex-girlfriend and put a tracker on her car.
Everybody thinks that like it does. Everybody's like, oh well, he was in pain, and it's like, okay.
So was she.
So what?
She was scared.
She filed a restraining order against you, number 1. And number 2, like, fuck you, Netflix, because there's 1.5 billion gay stories that we can tell.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, oh, you know what? We should pick this white male
Christian football
player to give a Netflix special to.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it.
I agree. No, I didn't watch it either. I refused.
See, judgy. This is what I mean. I don't mean it like I'm actually judging people. I just have never met a hill I don't want to die on.
Same with like obviously and like Kevin Spacey.
Like the in between.
You're like, I don't care that much or either way. No, but when Kevin Spacey used him being gay as a excuse for his like predatoriness,
Totally.
I was like, you can go fuck yourself. We don't claim you. Like, bye.
We also don't claim Caitlyn Jenner.
No, we don't claim Caitlyn Jenner.
Those are just a few
Sorry, girl.
we're not going to claim.
Sorry, girl.
Okay. Also at the Fake Friday, our friend Friday, she was like, I do not want to be anonymous because this was posted as we'll keep you anonymous. So from at the Fake Friday, favorite sex position.
Since we were talking about this when I saw that she submitted this question, and it's so interesting because we would have to be so graphic to describe this.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if we're gonna.
We don't know who's gonna be listening to this.
I know. I can't. Because she was like, oh, do you really want to say when I do this and you're laying like this and this is happening and this? And I'm like, no.
We don't have to do that. I speak for me and also my good friend, longtime listener, Tess Watson, when I say boo.
I know. I know all the juice.
You'll just text her. She'll text you.
I'll text about it. I was thinking we could say who's like more top or bottom though.
I mean, in a lot of my previous relationships and for most of my hookups and all that, I was very much the quote unquote top. I would do a lot of the giving, and whether that was for specific reasons, I know like I preferred it, but also I think I was with people that necessarily didn't always want to reciprocate it, or it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, okay, like I'm gonna do it, but also it never really happened. So I think I still do prefer to top. It's such a weird thing to say.
It's also like so funny too talking about it like in queer spaces, because a lot of the the hetero would just be like, are you more dominant or submissive?
Yeah.
But then it's like now we have our like the top and bottom, like the verbiage of it.
Yeah.
It just feels so different.
I'm in at this point in my life and in this relationship, it is versey McVerse.
Yeah.
As it should be.
As it should be. Well, if that's what you want in your relationship, as it should
totally,
be.
Totally.
Yeah. I know. I think that, like, if we each had to only pick one for the rest of our lives, she'd be the top and I'd be the bottom.
I literally was about to call you a pillow princess.
I fucking refuse that label. I'm gonna ask her. I'm not a pillow princess.
Not a pillow princess.
No.
That's funny.
I hit it regularly and good.
Okay, best tips to catch a wild mask.
And love doing it. Okay, anyways. Oh yeah, Friday is always on the hunt for, our friend Friday, she's always on the hunt for a nice cute mask girly and needs tips on how to get one. I feel like I just put myself in lesbian spaces as much as I could, and then but we ended up meeting on a dating app.
Yeah, I have a few friends, like I think when you are mask, you can then have like more mask friends, and just trying to think of places, you know, obviously queer spaces, a bar, something like that, but outside of that, it sounds stupid, but I'm in the gym a lot.
Wait, I literally was just
The
thinking
gym.
we should make a gay gym.
Yeah.
I think there are some
Are there?
across
I
the
think
country.
there's women's only gyms, but I didn't know if there was
That's actually a good point.
gay gyms.
Yeah, we should have gay gyms. That'd be so fun.
I'm down.
Imagine going to the gym, but it's just a gay bar.
I would so go to the
Some
gym.
gyms
It would
in
be
certain
so
areas are pretty much gay gyms.
Yes.
But yeah, that, or, you know, any, like, I know a lot of more masculine women and non-binary people play a lot of, like, intramural soccer. And
Yes, rec
stuff.
sports.
Rec sports, that's definitely, you know, not only going to make friends, but there's definitely going to be some, like, previous, you know, high school, college athletes there that...
Yes. That's what you need.
Rugby? Oh my
Friday,
goodness,
a
I watched a rugby and I was
women's
like...
athlete.
Yes.
Friday, literally also, I remember watching a TikTok last year that was like the LA Lesbian Kickball League. And the TikTok was, how many people on this kickball team have you slept with? And they were going around to all the players and they were like, 1, 2, 3. So it's like,
That's
Friday you should join like a kickball league or go to the gym. Fred, she's in the gym. Yeah.
Look for
Also,
anyone
I
with a
feel
thigh
like-
tat.
I feel like approach them.
Yeah,
Just go for it.
yeah.
Like as a femme,
Especially
approach the
in
masked women.
areas
Right.
that aren't queer spaces.
Right.
Approach them, because, at least speaking only for myself, I am attracted to feminine women, like ones that don't necessarily scream I'm gay. That's just always kind of been what I've been
Totally.
interested in. But at the same time, when I'm not in a queer space, I absolutely do not want to be that creepy lesbian or whatever. Like, if I'm at a gym or something like that, you can probably tell that I'm gay. But anyone else there, I am not approaching them. I'm trying to make sure that they feel safe regardless, because they could see me and be like, oh my god, that lesbian's looking at me or whatever.
I know.
So-
I think that's just the stereotypes that are ingrained into us.
Yeah, it's so approach and like
Yeah.
make it obvious.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah.
Okay, we have, what are your kinks?
Oh, I have such a good one for this that I've recently realized I have.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this started because I was telling Erica, like, you look so good with sunglasses on. Like, I love you in sunglasses.
Shut up.
And then I was like, you know what I think it is? Like, did you ever look at Spider-Man and think, he's so hot? And then he takes off the mask and you're like, no, he's not. Because that's what it's been for me. I think, like, if there's a level...
I wish you guys could see my face right now.
if there's a level of mystery, like a low baseball hat, some sunglasses...
Please tell me you're booing.
Something, it's like
Yes.
crickets. Something about that is hot to me. Like a movie, like Catwoman, she's wearing a mask, you
Okay.
can't see all her face.
Okay.
Something about that.
So masks and masks.
Is this completely unrelatable? Someone let me know. It's not like I want her to wear a mask, but I'm like,
Okay, that was my question. Are you like
No.
having
no.
are you wearing
No.
sunglasses?
I just think
No.
that when she wears sunglasses, she looks like it's just
Okay.
a little something for me. Or like a low hat, or like something that's a
Okay.
little like there's an air of mystery.
I'm gonna give this the lesbian version of the backwards, like the men with the backwards baseball hat. Like it just like
Sure.
does something.
Yeah, it's just a little like different.
I legit the reason the kink shaming was happening here was because I thought that you were telling me that Erica wears sunglasses
No.
when you guys have sex.
No,
God, no.
no.
I thought that that's what I,
I
was
would never
going.
make
No.
Erica put anything on her head to
I
cover
would
her
never if
beautiful face.
anything would be my glasses so I can see.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Could
or a
you imagine
blindfold
you were
for
like,
fun.
hey, will you cover up your face?
I know, no.
Will you put a bag over your face?
Erica is so beautiful and hot. I only want to see her face. But I was just thinking about it, and I was like, you know when you watch a movie and the person has like a motorcycle helmet on and you don't know who they are, but they're like zooming around and you're like, oh, that's kind of like a hot mystery. And then they like take it off and you're like, oh, okay, that's what you look like. Like, or the Spider-Man thing. Do you not relate to the Spider-Man thing? He's hotter with the mask on.
I'm not into Spider-Man, so I don't know.
I'm not either, but maybe
really
it's because I'm a lesbian. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm sound off in the comments or something because I think there's something to it. Just a little bit of mystery. We're not wearing sunglasses while we have sex.
Yeah, it's more of a turn on.
Sure.
Versus
Maybe it's
kink.
a turn on.
Okay,
yeah.
yes, there we go. I wouldn't qualify it as a kink.
Okay, that's fine. So then my kink is praise kink. Okay, next.
I think we have that too.
You do.
I think we've talked about this.
Yeah.
We're too much of the same.
I
person.
know.
What do you got?
I've still been trying to think of like a specific kink that I have, and despite what my friends would like to say, you know, that I have a drawer of like
I've heard of the drawers.
And here's the thing, it's like you get one thing here, one thing there. It's just a collection of things over years.
Totally.
No, she'll like Snapchat us going to the sex store for like bachelorette gifts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what we've been for the most recent times. And her friends will be like, "Don't you own everything already? Why are you still in these stores?"
No, I just I don't know if I have a specific kink. I really am attracted to like all the different kinds of sounds. So whatever
Auditory.
Okay.
I'm very
I'm
auditory.
like that too.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
I'll leave that there.
Okay.
You know something else then?
I feel like you like tying up things. being like dominant.
Yeah, definitely like a little bit more of a control aspect of it. Yeah, for sure. But again, it's never like all the time. It doesn't have to be all the time.
Yeah, it's not all or nothing.
I feel like there's like, you know, you have you were talking about like a sex menu.
Yes.
Yes.
We
Oh my
love
God.
a sex menu.
Yes.
She
Have we
introduced
talked
that
about it on the
and-
pod before?
Huh?
Have we talked about it on the
I
pod?
don't know if we have on the pod, but basically I got it from the We Could Do Hard Things podcast because Lemon Doyle had like a sexpert come on there. And sometimes it's like when you're asking your partner, do you want to have sex? It's like, okay, well, are we having a 7-course meal or are we just doing an appetizer? Like I need more context to this situation. So you can kind of think about it in terms of a menu like, okay, tonight we just have the appetite to do this much. And then on Saturday we have the appetite to do this much. And you can kind of, it doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Right.
It can be like little
it's like,
things
it's
here
saying
and there.
like, do you want to have sex? It's like, oh, well, I don't want to like get out all the tools and the straps and the laundry and all of that. That sounds like so much work. But like your partner could be like, meaning, do you want to just masturbate together?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I feel like that's
why the menu is beautiful.
Yes,
it takes the
menu.
pressure off of the like specifics.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not all of the kinks are just they're just in one spot
Exactly.
on the menu.
Yes.
They're in the dessert section.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the full course.
Yes. Or the full course.
Yeah.
Or that's, you know, the exotic menu
Yeah.
at a different restaurant.
100%. You gotta go out of town for that one.
Yes. That's so funny.
We're running away with this one.
Wait, okay, well, what about you? You have to answer.
Okay,
too.
so the whole reason I was getting quiet during that is because I do have it. I'm like, I swear this podcast, I'm like open book always.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not typically the one that Tess is like, no, tell
Text
me.
me.
Yes. But I don't think I'm going to say it.
Oh my god.
I know. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Ooh, not see. Now you
Now
really
I'm
got
like,
people.
okay,
does it have
this
to
is
do
why.
with your toes? Random things.
She didn't say
She
no.
didn't say no,
Oh
folks.
my god, stop. Okay, so the reason being though is because it's not even my people. Like, I'll tell my people anything.
Mhm.
But like Nathan's siblings listen to the podcast.
True.
So I'm like, I just don't need them knowing
Yeah.
that you like to
She
chat
does
about
that.
their breath.
That's so true. Yeah, my siblings don't
I will
listen to
say.
this.
Yeah, no. See, those. I mean, and like I would tell my sisters, but like
Yeah.
I'm exposing Nathan.
That's
He's not
okay.
here to give consent on that.
You're really.
That's fine. Tell us after though.
Yes,
for sure.
I'll tell you
Remember
after.
to ask her, 'cause I want to know.
Okay, we have a question that I don't understand, but I'm assuming it's from one of your friends.
Oh no.
Ask her the struggle of living the hey mama life because
Oh,
she's
no.
the goat Wait, she's the goat. Hey, mama.
Yes. So, like, do you know what a Hey Mama's Lesbian is?
No.
It was viral on TikTok like a year or 2 years ago, and it's basically...
It was a COVID thing.
Yeah, people would do like skits of like the Hey Mama's Lesbian, or they would be Hey Mama's Lesbians on TikTok, and we were like, okay, kind of, would Sedona be an example, or no? No. It's basically the type of lesbian that has
call
like...
Sedona the other day?
Sonoma.
That's so funny.
Their name. Basically the type of lesbian that's wearing like chains, maybe one dangly earring, a hat, and it's like,
oh, it's
mamas.
a fuck boy.
Yes,
it's a fuck boy
lesbian.
lesbian.
But sometimes they will literally say the phrase like, "Hey, mamas."
Like, yeah, exactly. Immediate ick.
No.
Immediate ick.
But I like to say Erica's a
Okay, so-
reformed Hey Mamas.
Which is used to be a Hey Mama.
No, absolutely not. Okay. And I will fight this to my core. I understand that maybe sometimes the pure aesthetic of wearing like a black t-shirt and
with
some
your
chains
and your gauges and
like
your hair.
that's where I fit into it. But this question comes from someone who he is a gay man, and he was trying to understand what this concept was, and he, you know, I explained it to him, and then he's like, oh, so you're Hey Mamas. I go, no, these are terrible, like we don't want to be Hey Mamas. And it was during last summer, and I happened to be in my single life, and I was dating or seeing people, and I was kind of like showing him like, oh, this is someone that I've been talking to, and this is someone, and he was just like, this is what a Hey Mamas does. It was giving me so much crap for it. So I was like, no. So now he still calls me Hey Mamas.
Okay, so we have like one more question that I would say like is a little bit more cute and serious, and then we're probably good.
Okay.
What is a healthy way of setting boundaries without hurting your partner's feelings because she's sensitive? Well, whoever asked this question, because we're keeping it anonymous, lucky you, we've got two really sensitive bitches hosting this pod.
And someone who is not as sensitive and has to learn how to communicate.
Okay, so we're perfect. So like, how would you? We can do this.
I am this person, so you tell me how I am supposed to communicate to the sensey.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I love giving solicited and unsolicited relationship advice. So
go for it.
I am like really sensitive to the point that I'm like almost a highly sensitive person, like almost diagnosable, I would say. And I would say that like the first sentence always has to be like words of affirmation. Like I really need that compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
And then also just like instead of just going straight into like the thing that you're saying, you need to like explain it in all of this like order, right? So like I would say if Nathan came to me and he was like, hey, I love you and I cherish you and all of these things are true no matter like the things that I'm coming to you with, and you have to like be secure enough for that. But then like if you break it down and I don't like it when you do this because it makes me feel this and that challenges me in this way, and like this is how I would like you to do it in the future.
Yeah.
And then like compliment sandwich again. Like this does not mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that our relationship is in danger, and it also doesn't mean this and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I also think that like anytime you're having this kind of conversation, if somebody is like really, really sensitive, it's probably because they're not secure enough to handle criticism. So I would also maybe suggest working on that part of the relationship, because once you can have a secure attachment, then you're really able to like open up a dialect and a conversation. Dialogue.
Yeah.
There we go.
Close there.
What is dialect?
Dialect is like a type of a language.
Yes.
Like it's dialect of Spanish is a specific type of.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I hate it when I do that, but you can open up a dialogue when you have a secure relationship. So like, if you can't really be doing that, it's probably because there's not enough security there.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say?
I think that's great advice. I think to go with that, pile on the words of affirmation, pile on the reassurance as you're expressing the need for this boundary, and I always explain the why, the context behind the whole situation, so both partners are on the same page about what's actually happening here, because if a boundary is being put in place, there's a reason for that, and it needs to be well explained. If it's just like, I don't want you to talk to that person anymore, it's like, whoa, why? What happened? What's really going on underneath the issue?
Totally.
And I think also just using I statements, talk about how you feel and how you want to use this boundary to make you as a partnership the healthiest it can be and the happiest it can be, by focusing on that instead of you're doing something wrong. Like frame it as this is how I want us to be the best team we can be together. By having healthy boundaries is just, I think, a better way to frame it so that you come out the same, like the end on the same way. Because it shouldn't be like a you versus them. It should be we're on the same team and we need to put these things in place so that we can be the best we can be together.
Yeah. I also feel like, at least for me and my marriage, because I'm such a sensitive person and because I've been through a lot of therapy, I feel like I'm a really good communicator. And with that, I set a lot of boundaries. Like, I'm typically the person that is, you know, setting boundaries, checking in, doing a lot of that mental work because I'm so used to it, and it does come really natural for me. And I think a lot of times the person that's not so sensitive in the relationship, it can feel like a bigger deal to do it because they don't quote unquote complain. I'm not saying that like the sensitive person complains, but like that's, you know what I mean? Like when you are that role, I feel like a lot more frequently it's like, oh, I check in a lot. I'm doing this where I'm saying like all of these things or whatever, and that other person, it can feel so much scarier to do that when they're like, oh, I'm chill, I'm good, whatever, because it's just not natural for that person. Like a lot of times Nathan has to get to a point where he's like, okay, I really need to talk about this.
Like
and
he's filled his brim with this issue.
Totally. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, this is a non-issue for me. I'm just giving you the heads up it's going to eventually turn into it, you know? So I feel like it can feel a lot more serious.
But that's good advice too. Try to start early. If you feel that something is bothering you, don't let it build. Let's address it right away. And say like, hey, I just noticed like it didn't feel great when you said that about me, or like it didn't feel great when you know, did this or whatever the type of thing is.
Yeah,
and you can prevent bigger issues.
Gives your partner a chance to like, if you're not communicating it early on, it doesn't give your partner like the chance to like know better. You know, like if you're just doing something over and over and over again that's pissing your partner off, and they're not telling you, it's like, well, yeah, that is gonna feel like a big deal when you've been together for a year and a half and you've been acting the same exact way.
This is the way I've always done things. So what do you mean?
Totally. Whereas at the very beginning, if you say like, nope, I don't like that. You know, it gives your partner a chance to love you the way you deserve.
What do you have to say, baby?
I think coming from the person who is a bit more relaxed, going back to what you were saying, is it does feel like more effort to start to communicate because you guys have always been communicating most of the time. You know, you as you said, you're very vocal about things all the time, and to go from not being vocal at all to try to catch up to you, I'd say give that other person grace to try to get to that level of communication, or at least, you know, further along. I'm sure they'll never get to the same level, but you know, I was always single my entire life, so I didn't have someone to communicate and bounce things off of. So it does take a little bit more time for me to feel like I can express something, even though I'm like, I've just always been having these conversations in my head.
Totally.
Now I have someone else that I can actually have these conversations with. Am I okay with that? How do I start that? You know, so it's been a learning curve for me as well. But
and we talk about too, like how you receive things. Like we've had conversations where she'll have said something to me and I'll be like, just so you know, the way that you said that, I know what you were trying to say, but this is how it felt when you said it. And she's like, oh, I totally get that. And I'm like, I could have received it better if you put it like this, and that would have been a smoother experience. And so then we kind of move forward like that.
And you have those at the very small conversations rather than having to happen when the big thing goes on.
Like when she's hovering me in the kitchen and telling me what I should be doing, and I'm like,
because I think I'm helping. Like, well, you could start doing that first, and then it's like, no.
And I'm like, stop judging me. I have my own process.
As the person too that is like a little bit better at communicating, I would say. And that's like very I would say one of my best qualities and worst qualities is how self-aware I am. and my ADHD. So that all coupled together.
It all compounds.
A lot of times when Nathan like is starting to say something, my ADHD is like, I know what you're about to say. Like, come on, I'm like, I know what you're about to say. Let me put those words there so we can get through that faster. And like really taking the time to like sit and be present and like really listen is just listen.
Yeah,
that's a great part of that too.
I try to do that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you to the punch because I know what you're gonna say and I already want to get to apologizing. So like let me get there. Whereas I've really been kind of mindful to kind of practice the like, okay, help me understand that better. Like I say that a lot. Like I need to understand exactly where this is coming from. Yeah. So instead of like trying to get through it, I'm just like, okay, let's actually unpack that a little. Yeah. And use like when your partner that isn't more sensitive, like use that time, like if they're opening up, like let them get every single bit of what they want out, let them get it out. Yeah. Because like if you're opening that box right there, like let that open. Like that's a beautiful thing, and they're like unpacking, and let them unpack whatever they want to. You have to like take those pieces.
Yeah. Because unpacking that is a way of getting that whatever that feeling is out. So like allowing me to say this didn't make me feel great. I'm like, okay, I got it out and I'm good. Like, and I know, but if you're jumping on top of it, it's like, oh, okay, So like exactly what you said, just let that person let it all out, and it's a way of release.
Yeah. I think we probably are also similar in the sense that like we want to talk to fill the space. Like, you're probably thinking this, so like I'll just do that. Like, no worry, like it's fine. But you'll be surprised what people will say if you even hold your tongue for 10 more seconds. Like if you just like give people the space even 10 more seconds, like you'll be surprised at what people will feel that they can express then, and then you can just better work through it.
Yeah, that's when you're gonna find like the most beautiful parts of your relationship is when you just like sit in that silence and wait for the more quiet person to like really get their thoughts out.
Yeah. I'd say also like boundaries specifically require trust, equal parts trust on each side. Like if there's a boundary, like Erica will be like, hey, I don't want to talk about this right now. And like, okay, well then I need to respect that. But then you also have to let me know, like if I say, are you okay? And you say you're fine, I have to believe that. Like I can't keep going back and being like, are you fine? Are you fine? Are you fine? Because I used to do that to other people when I didn't believe them. So it like requires trust on both sides. Like, okay, we don't want to talk about this right now. We'll circle back to it. That's a boundary. We both understand the sides of it, and we'll respect it going forward. So it's like you have to have that trust.
Yeah, totally.
Established.
You told me something once, and I really liked it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna ask you one more time, like if you're okay. Yeah. And I grew out of the like, no, I'm fine. Yeah. I grew out of that years ago. God. But like at some point you have to be like, okay, when you say that, I'm gonna believe you. Yeah. So if you want to get something out, now's your chance. Yeah, totally.
That's cool.
I like that.
We wish you the best of luck.
Yeah,
you got this.
Absolutely. I feel like I again love giving unsolicited relationship advice. I feel like we did a good job.
Are we wrapping up? Are you not going to ask her any questions about how much she loves me?
Oh, the last one was Erica submitted, I love you.
Oh, I know, that's true. I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but like, how much do you love Amanda?
Oh, here's the thing. Amanda is the first and only person I've ever loved. So I can't, and I don't want to compare it to anything else, but I also at the same token can't imagine anything that feels better than this feeling. And every day gets better, so that's how it's not scary. It's not, especially for it being my first time, it's not scary. It just feels so exciting but comfortable. So.
Oh, I love that.
I know, no pressure or anything. She's had other girlfriends, but just not to this level.
They're not listening.
I love you too.
Oh.
That's
it? I'm just kidding.
Is Amanda the first person that you've said I love you to?
Absolutely. It's the first person I've ever said I love you to. Yeah.
Nathan said it to some bitch in middle school.
Boo.
But do you love her?
I actually think that it might have been, never mind.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, we didn't mean to go there. No, I didn't mean like some bitch, like I don't like her. I just meant like some
it's a joke. Cute
yes.
laugh track, it was
but No, but also every once in a while I'm like, but you didn't mean it. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't, you weren't in love, you were in high school. It doesn't count.
And I think you
Like
can have different
13.
types of loves too. So
Yeah.
No.
I can't speak for myself,
Not for Nicola.
but
No, yes, absolutely.
I'm giving her an excuse here. You love me the mostest.
I do.
Okay, there we
I
go.
do.
That's all I
Yes.
need.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
Of course. We all see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No, thanks for joining us.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode.
I'm sure you guys will have lots to talk about after the shenanigans of this coming weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
we'll do a Pride recap episode.
100%.
All the fits, all the
Yes.
Yeah.
You should, I mean, I'm only going on Sunday again,
Mhm.
but you should post like a day in the life of Pride
Oh
or
my
something
God.
for like the whole weekend.
That
we
would
should
be
both just
such a good idea.
I
post
said it on the
every
pod, now we
single
have to do
thing.
it.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
and then post all of your outfits, maybe like everybody's outfits.
yeah,
That, like,
I
we're
want
at
to do a
Pride
fit
with.
check TikTok. Do you think your friends would do that with me?
I'm sure they would be all for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet.
You know it.
I bet
right?
Maggie would.
Yeah.
Maggie, Tia.
We should. You should do like on the Instagram. You should do like a picture of like all of the people we're going to Pride with their little flag.
It'd be so
Over
cute.
it.
That would be really cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, I'm so excited.
Okay, well this has been
Happy
kind of hot and
Pride.
really funny. Happy Pride,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening. Bye.